welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where we are, currently here in Alagiri to continue our ranged DPS Rolequest with Ceetol Ja here. The Milk of Mamulja Kindness. Alright, I have something resembling a plan. First we need to track down the members of Shalteaufite's gang. Then we try convincing them to leave. Considering how terrified most of them were, I'm sure they're eager to free themselves of Shalteaufite and his outbursts. With fewer followers, he'll pose less of a threat to the people of Alamigo, and we stand a better chance of taking back the Steelhog Vessel. Of course, we now know Ceetol Ja and some other members of their side, so it shouldn't take too long to track him down. Time for another exciting round of Crystal Locals then? Rest assured, I'm already a step ahead of you. Besides, if your role is to fend off bandits and the like, mine should be to gather information and whatnot. Does that sound fair to you? It does. As it happens, our resistance friend stationed here has some interesting news to share. Apparently the two men posing as merchants that we met before were spotted nearby, engaging in trade and conversing with caravan owners. All to nefarious ends, no doubt. They were last seen in a place called Alagana, so we could head over there right away. One has a beard, the other has blue eyes. Assuming they haven't changed their disguises, they should be fairly easy to find. Alagana. It's up to the north, right? I don't know. Aha! Good work this way. Why, good evening. What can I do for you? You can start by dropping the Affable Merchant Act. It's nothing but a front for your real line of work. Ah, save me, Shalteaufite! Is that what you really want? You seemed so scared of him before. Look, we're not here to hurt you. We just want to retrieve the vessel. You explain what's going on, we might even be able to help you. Why don't you start by telling us your names? Our names? Huh, come to think of it, not once did Shalteaufite ask us that. It was always you there or some undeserved insult instead. I'm a Vanel, and this here is Pepin. Both born and bred in Ul'dah, we were struggling to make ends meet in Shalteaufite, claiming to be a merchant, took us under his wing. Right. He said that he was just like us, exploited and sick of bending over backward for the rich and powerful. Then he showed us the artifact and told us it had the power to change the world for the better. With its blessing, you could shrug off a charge of an Aurochs like it was a soft breeze, making you practically invincible. You can imagine how impressed we were, and we did exactly as he instructed. At first he told us to pretend to be merchants so we could scout out vulnerable caravans. Next thing we knew, we were joining him on raids. We never wanted to hurt anyone, but we owed Shalteaufite for giving us the power to strive for a better life. And when we saw what happened to anyone who spoke up against him, still makes the blood run cold to think of it. Shalteaufite mentioned before he was also from Ul'dah, assuming he was telling the truth, that is. It seems to me his gang is mostly formed of people from a similar background. But what about Ceetol Ja? He's a mercenary, correct? Yes, hired by Shalteaufite. He's so skilled that I doubt he even needs a blessing. Normally he keeps to himself, but he once told me about his homeland, an ocean away. Perhaps it's not unlike my own. Avenel, Pepin, even if you still view us as enemies, we appreciate you telling us the truth. No, we're the ones who should thank you. You've shown us more kindness than Shalteaufite ever has. There's one other thing though. Although you know about the crimes we've been party to, could you give us some time to straighten things out? Once this is all over, we turn ourselves in, I promise. Of course, we're not the only ones looking to cut ties with Shalteaufite. We try to persuade the others to leave the gang. Not only that, with us acting as your man in the middle, we can help you take back your treasure. What do you say? The plan might just work. Count us in. We tell the resistance soldiers to hold off for now, and give you the chance to put things right. You won't regret it. We return to the den and talk to the others. Until next we meet, be careful. To be honest, that went a lot better than I expected, and although it was fairly obvious from the outset, they confirmed my suspicions about Ceetol Ja traveling here to find work as a mercenary. Do you remember his reaction when you first encountered him? I have a feeling he and I are from a similar part of Dural. He was surprised to see someone like me here in Eorzea. Whatever the reason, he's let us go twice now. He may be aiding and abetting a nefarious criminal, but I refuse to believe he's a bad person. I think it's worth talking to him, and for that, we need to create an opportunity. The way he spoke about his homeland to Avanel and Pepin means he's probably misses it, which gives me an idea. Where I come from, we have a tradition of using incense burners, and if Ceetol Ja's village is anything like mine, that fragrance will remind him of home. Then, just when he's feeling all homesick and vulnerable, we make our move. Incense itself is made from copal, a type of tree resin. Do you think you could collect some of that while I gather the other ingredients? I actually came up with this idea back in Alagiri and asked our resistance associate where we might find copal. The good news is that there should be some in a place called the Last Forest. The bad news is that the smell attracts all sorts of horrible creatures, so try not to get eaten. Good. That's it. Now, is that copper I smell? This is what it smells like when trees cry. Oh my, this is quite a find. Once I mix it with the other ingredients, we'll have a batch of traditional incense ready for burning. Unfortunately, the preparations take a little while, so in the meantime, perhaps you could begin the search for Ceetol Ja. According to the locals, a Mamul Jar has been seen near the river which runs through Rustrock. With all the dust swirling about this place, I can imagine he'd want to wash it off somewhere. I find myself bathing more than usual here, so I can relate. Boo. What are you doing here? Oh, there you are. Here, I have a present for you. It's an incense burner. The metal case is an old one I happen to have with me, but I made the instant some fresh ingredients, including copper that Desiree collected. Why not try lighting it? I'm sure the aroma will bring back pleasant memories of home. There's no need. I'd recognize the smell anywhere. But as much as I long to return home, I'd rather not be reminded of what I left behind, what I might never see again. As things stand, I have no choice but to continue working as Shalteaufite's mercenary, no matter what crimes he commits. But why? The fare for a ship back to Dural is enough to buy a mansion here in Eorzea. At least that's what Shalteaufite told me. He said that if I serve him loyally, he'd cover the cost for my journey home. Hold on a moment. Surely that can't be right. People rich and poor travel from Eorzea to Leola all the time. Well, since I'm unfamiliar with the local customs or negotiations and such, Shalteaufite offered to speak with the ship's owner in my stead. Compared to the journey from Dural to Eorzea, traveling in the opposite direction is far more perilous due to the weather conditions and so forth. But not for Shalteaufite's skill at the bargaining table, the price would have been even higher, or so he said. I've been played for a fool, haven't I? That unscrupulous, thieving snake in the grass, he won't get away with this. I have an idea. You should come with me to Limsa, where I can introduce you to the captain of a merchant ship that brought me here. He's sure to give you passage home for a fair price. To tell the truth, I was rather hoping you'd join us in our cause, but you've already been through enough. Getting you home safe and sound comes first. I don't know what to say. Thank you for your kind offer, but I have unfinished business here. Though I may have been deceived, it's no excuse to all the harm and suffering I've caused. I alone must settle the score with Shalteaufite once and for all. Whenever you're ready, the offer still stands. It's a pity we couldn't join forces, but he's got to do things his own way, I suppose. In any case, let's head back to Alagiri. With all those soldiers around, at least we won't have to worry about bandits, which is more than I can say for this place. Right. You know, Kakuja isn't at all like his first impression suggested. He was actually rather sweet and perhaps a touch naive. Still, we can't blame him for being taken in by Shalteaufite's lies. And Kakuja wasn't the only one. I can't bring myself to forgive that treacherous viper. Thanks to him, we've been led a merry dance and still have nothing to show for it. With any luck, our newfound allies Avenel and Pepin will have good news for us before long. Level 100. Ally in the alley. You never guess what. Someone I never met before handed me a letter who said they were asked to deliver it to an entirely different person. There's no way to tell who the message is originally from. As I'm unaccustomed to, well, everything around here, I can't tell if a letter should be taken at face value or if there's some hidden meaning. Perhaps you could take a look? Desiree is to come to the Alamegan quarter and meet with a man in spectacles. She must arrive incognito. The instructions are clear enough, but even so, this is as suspicious as month-old milk. On the other hand, it could be from Avenel and Pepin. If this smells like a trap, we don't have any better leads. I think we should do as the letter instructs. But proceed with the utmost caution. I'll meet you there. It's a miracle if I can go incognito. I'm a famous hero in these parts, you know? And there's only one man in spectacles in the entirety of the Alamigan quarter. Now that you're here, it's time to get you into disguise. As for me, even the most elaborate costume in the world will do little to keep me hidden in a place like this. I stick to the shadows and watch from a safe distance. I took the liberty of picking your outfit for the occasion. Let's hope it fits, huh? The sash and straps are a bit tricky to get right, so if I come undone and your disguise falls apart, just come back to me and I'll help you get dressed again. Now we get a disguise. Yeah, but face, right? There's that one bespectacled man. You must be Desiree, correct? I'm pleased to make your acquaintance. Our mutual friend Avenel sends his regards. Like him, I and several others have resolved to make a clean break and free ourselves from Shalteaufite for good. You and your Mamuja girl have done us a great service by giving us a chance to put things right before reporting us to resistance. Now to the matter at hand. Now that you are wondering why we must resort to such convoluted means to meet with you. Simply put, it's to avoid rousing the suspicions of Shalteaufite and those still loyal to him. As for why we've brought you here, there's someone wished for you to meet. For now I ask that you remain in disguise. Okay. Your cooperation is appreciated. One moment, please. I'm glad we had a chance to meet. Would that it were under better circumstances. My attempt to put a stop to Shalteaufite's wrongdoing ended in failure. I tried to seize the artifact, but he was ready for me. Even so, it wasn't all for nothing. Thank you all for joining me, in spite of the ever-watchful eye of the Resistance. The time has come to initiate the next phase of my master plan. Until recently, we have concentrated our efforts on liberating wares from hapless merchants, and this was all in service to something far greater. Our disruption in the flow of goods into Alamigo has plunged the markets, and as a consequence, the city itself, into chaos, exactly as I had foreseen. No longer will we be forced to crawl through the mud and lick the boots of the rich and privileged. We shall cast down the oppressors. They shall suffer as we have. The meager shall inherit this land, down with the old order. I have invested our funds into restoring and enhancing discarded Magitech weaponry. Now nothing can stop us from taking over Alamigo. That's enough, Shalteaufite. Your treachery ends here. All this time I believed your lies, but no more. Give me the artifact now. It belongs to Ceetol Ja and her people. What? But Kakuja is Shalteaufite's right-hand man. Silence? Look at this wretched soul. The Mamuja girl has turned him against me. His one and only benefactor. Be warned, should any of you side with this traitor, no longer shall you bask in the artifact's blessing. Now seize him, or face the consequences. Yes, that's more like it. Any further interference could place my entire plan in jeopardy. I must act without delay. The artifact's blessing and its shockwaves at their disposal, I was given a beating and thrown into the dirt. Later, my friend here and a few other sympathizers snuck out and treated my injuries. More importantly, my attempted mutiny will no doubt have Shalteaufite panicking as he struggles to maintain his hold over the rest of the gang. An attack is imminent, with the palace his most likely target. I ask that you relay this to Ceetol Ja. At the very least, she has a right to know the whereabouts of the artifact. So, what happened? Then we were right to trust the sender of a letter after all. We knew Ceetol Ja had a score to settle with Shalteaufite, but I had no idea he tried to take back the vessel as well. Though we may not be working side by side, I'm glad to count him amongst our allies. Speaking of which, we must inform the resistance about Shalteaufite's plan right away. We stand a far better chance of stopping him with their support, but given the power at his disposal, even that may not be enough. I tried to think of something. In the meantime, you should make whatever preparations you can, as even the smallest advantage may prove crucial. Oh, and I see you've changed back into your usual garments. Not that the outfit I chose didn't suit you, but I think it's more your style. The mightiest shield. Avenel and Pepin are on their way here. The Shalteaufite, he set his plan into motion. It would have come sooner, but after Ceetol Ja openly opposed him, he became even more secretive than before. He refused to share his schemes with even his most loyal. Now, he's used the caravan to smuggle a load of magitech into the city. He's about to launch an assault on the royal palace. We managed to sneak away, but Shalteaufite and the others will make their move any moment now. Understood. We'll head there straight away. We have no choice but to face them head on. While I wish there was more I could do to help, I'd best leave the fighting to you. No, what am I saying? There must be a way I can help. The treasures from my village, I should be the one to solve this. Stand back and let me take care of this. I thought I would find you here. Ceetol Ja, you've already done so much for me and the others Shalteaufite tricked into becoming his accomplices. It would appear it is in your nature to help wherever you can. Nevertheless, your place is not the battlefield. You must leave that to Desiree and myself. But what about your injuries? They were not so severe to begin with, and those in the gang sympathetic to me provided various balms to treat the worst of them. I'm glad to know there are a few good eggs among them, but now that we've decided who's going, we need a plan. From the way Shalteaufite uses the vessel, it's clear there's one thing he hasn't realized yet. As we say in the village, cracks form in even the mightiest of shields. If there's a limit to the blessing's power, we'll find it. Whatever you do, you'd better do it quickly. Shalteaufite and the others will soon reach the palace. We'll share everything we know with the resistance and ask them to come as quickly as possible. Be careful out there. Alright, let's do this. As I said, my wounds are healed. Even if I weren't, I'd still be here. They must take the long way around, since the caravan won't be able to traverse the stairs. We on the other hand have no such concerns. Let's take a shortcut and intercept them. Then again, they may try to use the vessel's power to stop our advance. We'd best keep our eyes peeled for danger. You're the best choice to lead the charge, so we'll await your signal. Ready? Well then, it's now or never. Sorry, this charging into battle stuff is all new to me. I won't pretend I'm not scared, but I try to stay out of your way. Besides, I can't afford to back down now, knowing what's at stake. Let's show Shalteaufite who he's dealing with. Infiltrating the city was almost too easy. Now go, comrades. The smoldering ruins of the old order will be the foundation of our utopia. That's as far as you go. I thought I'd seen the last of you. Do you not see that this artifact can lift up the meek from under the boots of your oppressors? Not just one isolated tribe, but everyone who's ever known fear? You call me a villain, but it's you who would keep such a liberating power to yourself. You're not better than those we struggle against. And only when your ilk have been eradicated will the world know freedom. The hour has come for us to rise up and take what is rightfully ours. My whole village might rely on the treasure's blessing, but we're never used to steal from others. You lie, you cheat, and sow nothing but misery. You don't want to cast down the oppressors. You want to be the oppressors. Silence! Enough of your sanctimonious prattle. Shalteaufite Craven's Creed. Perhaps I'm every bit as wicked as you claim, but what of it? Does your self-righteousness make you better than me? For you and all those who judge me unworthy, my hatred will never die. Remember, cracks form in even the mightiest of shields. There must be some truth to it. Don't let up your attacks. The blessing, even one of us should be more than enough. You're powerless to stop me. It's working. Place your trust in the proverb. Once I dealt with you, Alamigo is as good as mine. What the hell's? The barrier is fading? Is this what you meant? That's this way. If we keep hitting the same spot, it's sure to break. Ah! This can't be. Don't just stand there gawping, surround them! You fool, Shalteaufite, miss the limit of the artifact's power! Leave it to me, keep attacking the barrier! I'm sorry. Meddling curse. Let's see what you make of this. There's no use fleeing. We've got to strike from a distance. How could they shatter the barrier? The artifact's power is absolute. Behold the power at my command! Shockwave is not short work of you. Imbeciles, show some backbone! What are you waiting for? Destroy them! I don't know, how can this be happening, you lot? Keep them occupied! Useless. Do I have to do everything by myself? I grant myself a full might of a blessing. Resist me at your peril. Even that shit crack eventually. Trust in my teaching and keep attacking. I don't need help to deal with the likes of you. Is there some man relying on a magical artifact? At this rate, we won't last much longer. Don't give in, Ceetol Ja. You still need to travel back to Leola, don't you? You can't lose to someone like Shalteaufite. Ceetol Ja's words empower him. You will learn the fate of those who will betray me. Now this way, smash the barrier! Shalteaufite, you stole the vessel to threaten others, even your own followers. It's time for you to pay! What happened to the blessing? Get away from me! Not so tough about a blessing, are you? Now's our chance this way. This used to be a dungeon boss, right? This Machina, but honestly, Shalteaufite sucks at driving it. We got the vessel back, and it's still in one piece. Please, I beg of you, give me the artifact. Of the trials I overcome to join the Unbound. Everything I did was for a chance at happiness. Without a blessing, I'm nothing. My enemies will live on unpunished. Enough, I tried reasoning with you, but it seems there's only one language you understand. Are you alright? Never better. We surrender. I'd say that Shalteaufite's plan for world domination are well and truly over. Not only that, but the Steelhog Vessel is back where it belongs, or at least it will be soon. Of course, I have you two to thank for everything. I quite literally couldn't have done it without you. It's finally over. Although resistance arrived more than a bit late, they've now taken Shalteaufite and his cronies into custody. We're lucky we're on hand to confront the gang, or things could have ended very differently. I have to say my first trip overseas was a lot more eventful than I'd have liked. But I'm glad I had the chance to meet so many interesting people. Well, apart from all the criminals, that is. As much as I'd like to spend more time seeing the sights and whatnot, I suppose I'd best get the vessel back to Doral. What about you, Ceetol Ja? There's only one thing I can do. Turn myself in, just like Pepin and Avenel. Even if I war stands in Shalteaufite's tomb, the fact remains that I committed those crimes of my own free will, and I must pay the penalty. Perhaps if I'm one day granted freedom, I'd like to pay my way home with fairly earned coin. The first thing I'd do upon returning is a visit to your village, and offer my apologies for using the artifact to carry out evil deeds. After that, Now it's too soon to speak of such things. Wherever your journey leads, you're always welcome in my village. Be sure to come visit one day. How about you, Desiree? If you happen to pass through Tuliyollal, my grandfather would love to show his appreciation for all you've done. Maybe I see you there? And let's return to Tuliyollal. I'm back. You have returned, Desiree. And pray tell, what has become of my granddaughter? Why, I'm right here. We did it, grandfather. We took back the Steelhog Vessel. My dear, what a relief it is to see you safe and well. Of course, I'm glad you were able to retrieve the treasure, but even that cannot compare to the joy of seeing you smile once more. And to you, Desiree, I must express the sincerest gratitude. No doubt we have you to thank for Ceetol Ja's safe return, not to mention that of a vessel as well. Absolutely, I would have been lost without your guidance and bravery in the face of danger. Thank you, truly. Anyway, we should be getting back to the village. None of the others will be clamoring to use the Steelhog Vessel to go hunting. I'll be coming back to Tuliyollal at some point, so hopefully we run into each other again soon. Until next time. Bye. Ah. Wait for me. Some shields are made to be broken. Alright, but it appears there is no connection quest yet, at least. Good. Then I'd say until next time. Mace and don't get lost.